So I've never done an 18-minute speech. This is going to be tough. Amazing. So I don't know what an employer of choice is, but I know what a dream employer is, and see if I'm right. So I'm going to move fast today. This is a picture of the third floor stairway at Facebook. If you can see what it shows is that there's a blind person or blindfolded person and a move fast and break things. What does that mean? Run down the stairs, but you might get hurt. So what? Stuff happens. Move fast and break things. All right, why pay attention to Facebook? It's pretty simple because they make a boatload of money. So how many of you have 1 billion customers? Raise your hand. And how many of you have a company run by a college dropout? So dominant market share, you can't even think who's in second place. Profitability, the stock closed at 48. Remember when it was 20? Literally less than a year ago. But the most powerful thing is their agility. So if you know anything about Facebook, you visited Facebook through a website, through your PC. And someone woke up and said, mobile platform is it, PC's dead. Literally within 2 years, they changed their company 180 degrees. I don't know anyone else that's capable of doing that, the Googles of the world. Apple hasn't done that. Just amazing. So their agility is another reason. Let's look at recruiting. What makes them great at recruiting? Oh, that's cute. There's a timer. I'll try to follow it. Okay, you want to learn from the best firms, right? Well, you want to know who's the most productive, who's the most innovative. So these are high-tech firms. You can do it in your own industry. So the average employee, you take all the revenue the company makes, divide it by the number of employees, bigger is better. Got that? Okay, the average is 208,000. If you pay someone 100,000, they bring in 200,000. That's a 100% return on investment. Drug dealing, ROI, it's incredibly high. Okay, IBM, a great company, 22% above the average. Wow, we can learn a lot from HP. They're 66% above. Amazon, 3.2% above. How many of you make $800,000 revenue per employee? Raise your hand. But Microsoft, excuse me, sucks. Google is over 1 million. Facebook is 1.3. Now, who's higher than Facebook? Apple is 2.3. That's in the history of the world. Every employee, and this includes retail employees, brings in 2.3 million. So what that means is it takes 5 times more employees at IBM to produce a revenue at Facebook and 10 times more employees. Tell me about, are the employees at IBM just really slow? Or does Facebook give everyone that walks in a drug and a Red Bull? All right. I should also notice the top 3 all have a movie and a book. Maybe you should. All right. We know from Apple, so I've done a case study of all 3 of those firms. We know from Apple that it produces exceptional productivity and innovation, but it doesn't have free food, doesn't have any of the wow features of Facebook. It also has negative factors, so Steve Jobs was a bit of a butthead, and secrecy and horrible career development. So both Apple and Facebook can attract and retain the best. So what I found, to make it really quick, is that there's 2 factors. Average people want benefits. Average people want whatever they want, donuts or Homer Simpson. What do the top performers want? So this is an important learning. They want 2 things: to do the best work of their life. How many of you are doing the best work of your life? And second, they want to change the world. So we just heard about changing the world. We want to do that. So it turns out that Facebook has both those factors. So when you look at employer of choice, here is Glassdoor just came out with a survey. Now, you have to be careful. The best place to work, you have to apply. This takes every company. Apple and Facebook don't apply, or GE doesn't apply. Guess who was ranked number 1? The best employer in the world, 4.7 out of 5. Who was second? Google, 4.5. Look what they said. I'm challenged every day to do your best work of your life. And then second, our mission is to make the world more open. We're here to change the world. So these 2 factors or what we found attracts top performers. They're not the same as average performers. Innovators don't want the same thing. One of the best ways to ensure you're doing the best work of your life is to give you a choice. So we heard about onboarding earlier. How many of you have 6 weeks of onboarding? Every employee goes through 6 weeks. And the interesting part is you get a mentor, you work on real projects. The first day you start at Facebook, you can screw up the entire Facebook code. You have access to it. But that's not the wow. Anyone here ever been in a place that after or onboarding, someone said, you know, when you came into this company, we hired you for a certain job, but now you've worked with it for 6 weeks. Which job would you really like? So at the end of this, they let them choose their project and their team. Come on, isn't that a wow? That's a holy crap. Okay, but that's not enough. You choose your first job. Well, they have what's called hackathons. It turns out moving people between teams increases best practice sharing, learning, facilitates cooperation. So hackathon allows you, after you've worked for a project for a year, you decide where you're going to go. So you go to any function, you work there for a month, and then at the end, you get to stay. Now, in order to get promoted at your firm, you have to go through some hiring process, go through interviews. You pick your own next job. Would that be exciting? Wouldn't you be doing the best work of your life if you picked your own job? Come on. Wow. That would never happen at my firm. I want to go where I want to go. Shut up. Okay, they motivate their employees by high impact. So most places, they try to reduce the workload. Facebook is the opposite. It turns out if you want to change the world, you need a lot of customers. Every engineer has 1 million customers. They purposely expand the role so that an engineer can have more of an impact. Next, risk-taking, speed. You've got to be first. You've got to kind of run fast and break things, right? So if you're going to do the best work of your life, you fail a lot. You fall forward, they call it. So you might fail 4 out of 5 times. Here's some quotes. We're less afraid of making mistakes than we are of losing opportunities. Moving slow is deadly. In a world that changes so quickly, the world changes quickly, right? You know that. You're guaranteed to fail if you don't take risk. And then they tell their employees to fail harder. Make more mistakes. Can you do that in HR? Make more mistakes. Oh, it might hurt my career. And then my favorite, what would you do if you weren't afraid? If you didn't have fear, what kind of ideas would you come up with? So this is amazing. All right. You can't succeed and be an employer of choice if you don't have a great CEO. So guess who the top CEO on the planet is? This college dropout. He gets a 99% approval rating. Steve Jobs, you know what he got? 97. Marissa at Yahoo, 87. So come on, 97% of the employees agree this guy is the one. And he's never taken a leadership class. Questions? All right, they collaborate. So one of the ways you collaboration leads to innovation. You meet each other, you talk, whatever. So office design, campus design. Facebook's the come-to-work culture. So we heard about not coming to work. They're the other way. Why? Because their data shows, they got this from Google, serendipitous meetings of non-team members. So team members work together. That happens. But it's walking down the hallway and you run into someone and say, hey, you're in finance or you're in HR, and I hate your guts. You're the son of a gun who won't fill my job or whatever the reason is. Serendipitous non-team interactions, it turns out, cause increased innovation. So new ideas. So you walk into someone and you say, I have this idea, and they go, oh, that's stupid. You got to fix it. So they refine the idea. Breaks down barriers. You have people in finance. It turns out the slow part of organizations is not engineering or product. It's HR and finance. And then last, it stimulates. So you're in HR and you're talking to these people that are innovating all over the place, and you're not, you feel left out, so it encourages you to innovate. And this interaction, the next step, one of the next steps called co-working, is, hey, you learn a lot by bumping into people at your own company, but what would you learn if you bumped into people from other companies? So they literally co-locate other companies in their building. All right, I'm sure your campus looks like this. They've designed it especially, here's the road down the middle, because you want people, it's a long campus, you want people to work together, so they have free bicycles, you can ride back and forth. They're building a new campus across the street, so in order to make sure people interact, they're going to do what? They're going to build a Holland tunnel under the road so you can ride your bike and get there. They have an open floor plan, so it turns out that there's no offices or cubicles. Cubicles are evil. And so they have tables. And the reason for that is pretty simple. So I'm at this table and I'm working on, I'm working on this project, and I go, 10 people will see, John, what's wrong? And 5 of them say, well, what's your problem? And I'll say, I have this problem and that problem. And they'll say, I already have the solution. So seeing the coworker is critical. They have no cubicles, no offices. Next, they also have standing desk. So think about it. If someone's sitting at a desk, there's a hesitation to walk up behind them. But when they're standing up, you can walk all the way around. So they measure the approachability standing up. So if you sit at a desk, you are so last week. Their workers don't really drive to work. That is so last week also. So you put them on a shuttle. Why? Because they work the whole time and they collaborate. They meet people that they don't normally work with on the shuttle. They isolate their campus. So this is San Francisco Bay. It looks a little like a prison. But it's the casino approach. If you bring them in and you don't have clocks and you don't let them look outside, they might just stay forever and think, even though they're losing money and pulling this handle. Why do you get free drinks at casinos? So that you'll keep doing stupid stuff. All right, so the casino approach is fun. So is this ever likely to happen at your firm? This is the best recruiting device ever on the history of the world. There's 2 things in life that trump everything, ice cream and cookies. This is the Facebook ice cream and bakery, and it's free. Anybody have that? Can you imagine the CFO going, you want to give away free ice cream? You want me to pay for it? Okay? This is their barbecue pit. How many of you have a barbecue pit? This is their actual barbecue pit on campus. Now, this happens to be dress up day. I'm joking. See how they're dressed up? Because you guys wear like suits and ties. I read about that. They have a game room, of course, because everyone should. They have bars, because, of course, doesn't everyone? You say you trust your employees, but why don't you have an open bar? Why don't you trust them? All right, they have a maker mentality. So a maker is someone who makes things. So that encourages finishing. So here's an example. They go out of their way to hire people that finish things. So there's a need for speed creates a motto. So here's their motto: done is better than perfect. You have to get there first. So if you don't have a gold iPhone, you're not going to win this. You have to be the first iPhone that's gold. They also pride themselves in data-driven decision-making, not emotional, where code wins arguments. So if you come up with the best solution, regardless of your status, regardless of your degrees, that's what wins. Okay, see if you can answer this question. Anybody know what this is? Wood shop. Everyone, you have one, right? Well, maybe in your garage. Okay, Facebook and Google have wood shop. Why would they have isn't this the stupidest thing you've ever heard? Why do they have a wood shop? Why does CFO pay for a wood shop? This is an employee wood shop. They don't make wood stuff, right, do they? So the answer is to get employees in the habit of making things, completing things. All right, obviously you can't require a college degree because their CEO is a college dropout. It would be weird for us to require a college degree. Now, you believe in college degrees, and I teach at a university, but that Jobs guy and that Gates guy and that Oracle guy, what do they have in common? Dell guy? They're all dropouts. Get over it. Degrees are so last year. So if you can build awesome stuff, this is their words, and have a big impact, that's all we care about. Make stuff. If you're good at making stuff, great. All right, they have hackathons. One of the ways they make stuff is they have all-nighters. Remember college? Actually, casinos. Don't they want you to stay up all night? Why? Because you'll lose your money. So in this case, a hackathon is an all-night event, starts at 8 o'clock. It picks on something that's not your day job, so it's not a regular Facebook problem, it's a different problem. And guess what was invented there? The thumb. So it's fun problem solving of things that aren't normally solved. All right, almost done here. Innovation requires uninterrupted time. So this, I've never known a firm that knows this. Google doesn't know this. It turns out that makers need uninterrupted time. So if you interrupt someone with a scheduled meeting, managers go to meetings, they don't have any problem. But makers, takes them 2 days to get back. So they've, of course, measured this. So they have this, what they call no meeting Wednesday. Can't have a meeting on Wednesday, so the people will have uninterrupted time. Once you get away, once you get interrupted, you won't finish. So the stream of thought. That make sense? Okay, now accountants might not need that time, or maybe HR people, I don't know. Innovators need that time. All right. I want them to be uninterrupted. So if you're a geek, you have, this is the wow, if you don't understand technology people. This is a vending machine for all of your computer needs. It's free, 24 hours a day. Keyboard goes bad. Hell, you just don't like your keyboard. You just go get another one. You have tech shops, right? This is a 24-hour tech shop. Geeks love toys. Okay? How many of you have fresh baked bread? So last year. Taco bar, salad bar, juice bar, sushi bar, espresso bar, burgers, vegan food, of course. And the most important, if you don't know this, is actually a commercial. Oops. This never happened. It's actually a commercial by Domino. All innovation comes from pizza. Remember in college, you're thinking of a new idea, you order a pizza. You're working and you're picking a cold pizza. It doesn't matter. So they figured out pizza innovation is that you need to have junk food or espresso close at hand. Does that make sense? So how many of you have all of those things, all, of course, for free? And then last, it turns out the best business case made by anybody on the planet, maybe Google would be second. So if there was one thing I wanted to learn from this, if you had a great business case, you would have so much money that you could do whatever crazy stuff you wanted. So acupuncture, of course, doesn't everybody have that? You don't? Oh. Okay. So unlimited sick leave. How many of you have unlimited sick leave? So you say you trust your employees. They don't count sick leave. You just take it all you want. Movie theater. You'll go to a movie theater and you'll goof off. No, you'll go to a movie theater with a colleague and you'll collaborate and you'll learn. Free bike shop. Full service bike shop. Why? Because it's California. Wash and fold, laundry, doctor, acupuncture, fitness center, barbershop, of course. Managers, lateral promotion. You don't get promoted if you're a manager. So people don't do it for the money. They do it because they want to make a difference. They also have a phrase, it turns out engineers have no interpersonal skills. I worked at HP, I knew that, but they actually wrote it down. So they give you a strength coach. If you're a new manager, they give you an internal coach and an external strength coach. They do acqui-hiring, which almost no one else does. They buy firms for talent. If you're the Yankees and you're not winning, you buy the Red Sox together. You're probably going to win this. And then the last one, they have unbelievable baby benefits. So 4 months off for the man and the woman paid. And when you have a baby, they just give you $4,000. They call it baby cash. It's like, I don't know what you need it for, but here. So what would your CFO say is, oh, we're going to have acupuncturists, we're going to have a bike shop, we're going to have ice cream. So think of your dull day, no offense. Hey, dear, what was it like? Commute sucked, parking sucked, boss yelled at me. I had ice cream. And I didn't like it, so I threw it away. It's not this Baskin-Robbins crap where you get a little spoonful. I threw the whole thing away and said, no, I want a different flavor. And you got to have cookies, can't have ice cream with cookies, right? So the business case is incredible. If you had this kind of money. So remember, they make over $1 million, $1.3 million revenue per employee. They're doing something right. So someone asked me, I can't afford to do that. I would argue you can't afford not to. What do you have? A paycheck. What do they have? Ice cream. Game over. All right, so final conclusion. So I've studied many firms. I've been to almost 300 firms. Facebook is the most focused employees of any firm I've ever visited. It's incredible. Everyone knows precisely why they're there and where they're going. Is that true at your firm? So it's incredible what they've done. They've done it in a handful of years. They have become the #1 employer. They have made this incredible amount of money, and they did it with a college dropout. So I hope I made you think. My time's up. Thank you.